awakening your soul. And that word awakening is an important one because it's not awaken your soul, it's awakening, because this is always an ongoing way of life. It's not that we kind of wake our soul up once. This is a communion, a devotion, a way of living that is ongoing. And the first one is to read a poem that nourishes you. And some of my favorites include David White and Mary Oliver, but you might have different ones. So it probably is good. I've got tons and tons of poetry books. So it might be that if you haven't got one, that's a Christmas gift for yourself or I don't wait for Christmas perhaps to be asked, because I think this is something to begin as soon as you've listened to this episode. So if you don't already have a poetry book, see if you can get hold of one and have that as a daily soulful ritual that you do perhaps first thing in the morning, and read a poem each day and allow that one line that kind of really spoke to you. You notice, particularly as poets like David White and Mary Oliver, they have this kind of like line, and often it's a different line, just to say it's not like it's the same line every time. There's some lines in certain poems that literally every time I read them, they're like, oh gosh, bring me to tears or open my heart. But sometimes it's a different line. So notice which line speaks to you, and then journey with it during that day. What is it wanting your soul to know? What is it opening your soul to? So really allow this poem to be that kind of touchstone of soul through the day. The next one is meditate in whatever way. And again, this doesn't have to be a really long meditation. It could be, again, taking 5 minutes, but do it in a way that feels really nourishing. So not a sense of kind of, again, this, oh, I have to do this. This is a commitment I've got to make. Something that feels beautiful. Just, it could be as simple as lighting a candle and sitting with a candle and gazing into it for 5 minutes. Allowing yourself to be with yourself and your soul. So again, this doesn't have to be some, grand tradition of meditating. It may even be the word meditating isn't the right way to describe it for you. It is a moment to be with your soul. And again, so allow yourself to be with that and create it in whatever way is right for you. The last soulful practice is to listen to something. So similar to the first one in reading the poem, this time it's listening. And there's something about these different ways of allowing our senses to take in what's right for our soul, and working with different, of course, there's all kinds of senses that we can use. So these are just a couple. But listen to something. So it could be a piece of music. It could be one of, say, Richard Rudd's audios. Richard Rudd, who created Gene Keys. So listen, and again, let something from that, could be one phrase, a particular melody, really shape the tone of your day. Really allow it to kind of keep moving through you, and allow it to kind of, again, see what your soul is being called to. Perhaps it's something that just allows you to remember your own inner light at a time where everything looks bleak and wintry. I had a moment of that just before this episode, actually. So I was trying to get all of this set up. By all of this, if you're watching live, I mean the lighting, the everything, and trying to get it all working with YouTube. And for some reason, my lighting wasn't quite right, and then I didn't look right, and so I was doing that, and so I was kind of going back and forth, kind of getting different things and turning things off. And then I needed to nip upstairs for something. By this point, I was about 10 minutes late. And I was like, gosh, am I going to be at a point where I can go live? And I turned and noticed a print that's hanging on my bedroom wall that has been for many, many years. And those of you that have listened to the podcast or read things I've written will probably know the piece of art that I mean. It's Waterhouse's Soul of the Rose. And it's to say it's my favorite picture just doesn't even come close to describing what this painting is to me. It really is the North Star of my soul. And it, when I have a moment of really communing with it, it does give me that moment of soul awakening again, reminds me of who I am. And if you're not familiar with that painting, she the woman is, and my daughter's often said the woman looks so much like me. I don't necessarily see it myself, but she used to actually say, "Is that you in the picture, mummy?" Which of course I take as a huge compliment. And she's got her eyes closed and she's smelling a rose and she's in this kind of very quintessential, what looks like probably a kind of English country house in an English country garden. And these beautiful robes of kind of greens and aquamarines. And everything is exactly as it's meant to be. Just that moment of her just burrowing her face in this rose and breathing it in. And I saw that, I just passed it, and it was just like that kind of wake up call, like literally a wake up call to my soul. And that is what I'm inviting you into. So, of course, what I just described was a painting that just happened again. I'm kind of surrounded by things that do that for me. That one is probably the most like, yeah, if I notice it in the right place, in the right way, it will do that. But again, the invitation is to find something to listen to that might do that for you. Okay. So again, choose as many as you want. I would suggest choose one from each of those 3 strands.